Today's story? Absolute chaos. Someone followed the rules so perfectly it ended with lawyers. But before we get to that courtroom showdown, let me tell you how I started a silent war over coffee breaks. My job's simple. You show up, mind your business, do your work, go home. No drama, no nonsense, just peace and fluorescent lighting. Then she showed up. New manager. Clipboard energy. You know the type, breeze rules, eat structure for breakfast, and probably dreams in Excel sheets. She had that posture that says, I was hall monitor of the year 3 years in a row. She wanted everything scheduled. Your arrival, your departure, your lunch, your bathroom breaks, maybe even your thoughts. Her grand memo said breaks must be taken at the same time every single day, without exception. Fine by me. My morning break happens right after our 15-minute team huddle. So, a few days later, the huddle runs long, 15 minutes hit, I stand up mid-sentence and walk out like I've got a NASA countdown in my head. She probably thought I was heading to the restroom. Nope, I was in the break room, feet up, sipping my coffee like a king who follows orders. She walks in later and spots me there. The look on her face, priceless. Every time that meeting ran long, I'd peace out at minute 15. Didn't matter if we were mid-discussion about world peace times up means times up. Eventually, she snaps. Why are you leaving in the middle of meetings? Me, smiles. My break is scheduled. She tried to backpedal. I meant within reason. Oh, I asked, are you changing the memo? Silence. She didn't, so I didn't change a thing either. For 6 long months, we went toe-to-toe in this passive-aggressive Olympics. She'd glare, I'd sip. She'd sigh, I'd stand up and walk out. I think I actually heard her grinding her teeth once as I casually opened my yogurt. Coworkers started watching like it was a soap opera. Yo, he's getting up. It's 10:14. Man, she's gonna explode today. When she finally transferred, the next manager walked in, tossed the memo, and said, just take breaks when you need to. Peace, return to the kingdom. Honestly, her idea wasn't evil, it just needed one magic phrase. When possible. Without it, it became a corporate Hunger Games. Because imagine if someone was running something important like a security feed or a critical system and suddenly stands up like, welp, 9:15, gotta go stretch. As one guy in the comments said, my boss once asked why I still do something weird. I said, because you told me to do it 4 years ago. Legendary. Another IT guy added, I once got yelled at for doing something wrong, so I pulled up the change request they approved where I said I'd do exactly that. The man weaponized bureaucracy. Beautiful. Anyway, hi, I'm Steven. If you love chaotic workplace stories, hit like and subscribe, because this next one's gold. The forklift and the creek. My dad told me this years ago, and it still makes me laugh. He worked at a warehouse that unloaded trucks using forklifts. Right beside the loading dock was a little creek, the kind that looks peaceful but definitely smells like industrial sadness. The manager was a walking stress ball, always rushing, never thinking, constantly yelling like life was a fire drill. One day, my dad asked where he should unload a heavy pallet. The manager, waving his arms around like a traffic cop having a meltdown, barked, just throw it down the creek. So, my dad did. Straight into the water. Splash. The manager froze mid-gesture. You could see the moment he realized he'd lost control of reality. You told me to. I didn't mean literally. You said throw it down the creek. I'm a man of instructions. Let's just say the man never gave vague directions again. From then on, every command came with a paragraph of clarification. Please unload the pallet on the left side of the bay, not the creek, the grass, or the parking lot. He even started drawing maps on sticky notes. Coworkers loved it. You're the reason he speaks in disclaimers now, they'd say. Dad just grinned. Moral, words matter, especially when forklifts are involved. The schedule that broke the law. And now, the next tale, a story about a manager who tried to fix work hours and accidentally broke the law. Early last year, we got a brand new manager who came in with all the confidence of a man who's never actually read a labor contract. The guy strutted in like he'd just invented productivity. He looked around and said, I think we can make this place more efficient. Translation, he's about to make everyone miserable. Our team was spread across Switzerland, Spain, and Mexico. Different time zones, different rhythms, but somehow everything worked fine. Swiss folks liked early starts, Spain took their lunches later, Mexico handled support into the evening, balance achieved. But Captain Efficiency hated that. He wanted everyone to work the exact same hours. He pulled up spreadsheets, graphs, and charts like he was solving world hunger. After studying our calendars, he proudly announced, "Starting next week, everyone works 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. sharp. This will increase collaboration." He said it like he'd just cured cancer. Instant silence. Even the coffee machine stopped buzzing. One coworker politely raised a hand. But that's gonna mess with childcare, commutes, and time zones. Adjust your lives. It's about teamwork. And that was that. He even said we didn't need HR approval. Rookie mistake. See, in Switzerland, labor law is no joke. Employees must record hours unless they've signed a waiver granting flexibility as long as they control at least 50% of their schedule. By forcing fixed hours, he accidentally voided that waiver. Meaning, the company was suddenly breaking Swiss law. One senior engineer caught it instantly. He quietly printed the law, walked to HR, and dropped it on their desk. "You might want to see what our new overlord's doing," he said. HR nearly choked on their coffee. Within hours, the manager's rule was frozen. The director called him into a meeting so fast it created wind. By that afternoon, he was forced to apologize. "I may have overlooked certain local regulations." To save face, he tried to compromise. "Fine, we'll fix half your hours. Everyone in Switzerland works 8 to 10 a.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. The rest, do what you want." He thought he was clever. In reality, he just invented the perfect loophole. The Swiss team saw it as 4 free hours of daylight. Monday morning came, and at 6 a.m., 3 engineers were already logged in, planning to knock out work early. 2 others took off at 11:30 and spent the afternoon sailing on Lake Zurich. One even sent a photo captioned, "Team synergy at its finest." By Tuesday, the whole system collapsed. People were working whenever they wanted legally. HR pulled the plug entirely. The manager lasted another few months before transferring to pursue new opportunities, which is corporate code for "we fired him politely." The team went back to flexible hours, productivity skyrocketed, and the legend of the guy who broke Swiss law with a PowerPoint lived on forever. By this point in our saga, you'd think managers everywhere would learn, never mess with schedules, forklifts, or coffee breaks. But no, corporate life is an endless buffet of poor decisions, and there's always another manager ready to serve dessert.